What's up, everybody? It's your boy, the Black Kakashi, and I'm here to talk about the newest chapter of My Hero Academia. Now, this chapter, we find out why the big three are interning with Endeavour, and surprisingly, they were just what I imagined them to be. Deku wanted to intern because he wants to master his new Black Whip quirk, which Endeavour points out that his raw power rivals All Might, and that Deku is just like him. Now, he's probably talking about them both having, raw power and that it's hard for them to maintain control of it, or that it has a physical toll on their bodies. Now, Deku, I understand, but Endeavour? That's crazy. That's crazy to hear that the number one hero had a hard time with his quirk. But it would explain why he was striving to have the perfect vessel in Shoto, who's a master of both fire and ice. Also, I want to point out that Deku's move, the move that he's been using since season 2 with the flick of his finger, is called Air Force. Now, you know what would be dope if Deku had if Deku would buy some Air Forces, bro. Like he would get his steel toe boots. Like, he ain't even gotta go buy no Air Forces. Just buy a Nike logo or something and just glue that shit to it so it'll be like freak it. So he had to say like he got some Air Force steel boots on, bro. That'd be so fucking cold, bro. That it would low key be hilarious though, but it would be cold though. Like, so niggas would be like always saying Deku ain't got no sauce. Like, hey, Deku got steel toe Air Force boots on. Who else can do that and look clean? Come on, that'd be so funny though. And another funny thing was Deku monologuing the whole time. Like, we hardly see Deku monologue. It's been a minute since we've seen it, but the funny thing about it is if you read it, it reminds you of Hunter x Hunter, because we all know Togashi likes to write those long ass paragraphs, and a nigga ain't got time to be reading all that. So sometimes you skip it and then just come back to it later. But that's literally what it was like. And if Bakugo's in the background getting pissed off because this nigga here, shut up.
Shut the fuck up. God damn,
nigga. And then the intern was like, yeah, you lost me. You lost me after a long distance attack. Oh man, I love you, Deku. Never change. But luckily Endeavour was the only one that got it. And Bakugo simply wants to learn what he needs to learn and see what he lacks. Because he doesn't lack in strength. We all know that. But he lacks in other things. He pointed out that just because he's strong in a fight doesn't mean he's strong as a person. Endeavour takes note of what he said and realizes how much more matured he's been and become since the UA Sports Festival. Shoto simply came on his own free will and wants to be an aspiring hero and prove that he's earned the title, and that his number one hero that he always admired is still All Might, hands down, just like everybody else. Nothing will change about that. He realized that he's been used by Endeavour his whole life and fell right into his hands. Like, every time he thought he was pissing Endeavour off, all he really was doing was just pulling himself closer and closer to him, playing right into his hands. Now, Endeavour, after that, he basically tells him he's gonna use Endeavour just like how Endeavour used him, and tells him to stop trying to play dad in front of me and his friends. He wants that real nigga Endeavour. He wants the GOAT. He wants the GOAT when he's interning with him, and not big bad dad loving, oh hey son, I love you. He don't want that type of Endeavour watching over him. Like, you can save all that shit for when we get home. But when we in the streets, I want the GOAT watching my back. And we all know how he really feels, because like back after his fight with High-End Nomu, he basically tells Endeavour that he won't forgive him for what he did to his mom, but he'll like to see how he turns out as a dad. And Endeavour, he thought Shoto was just, the reason why Shoto was interning with him again was because Shoto was starting to open up to him, but he was foolishly mistaken. firmly tells Shoto, got it, and says that he'll watch over them as a hero. We find out that the 3 fundamental skills in being a hero are rescue ops, aiding evacuations, and fighting villains. Luckily, they did all 3 during the hero license exam. Endeavor wants them to excel in all 3 because usually, most heroes will, choose only like 1 or 2 of them to like master in. Like one will choose in aiding and fighting, and the other will choose like 2 out of 3 or 1 out of 3. But Endeavor wants them to excel in all 3. Which is knowing the area you're patrolling in. Well, knowing the area you're patrolling in and out, so nothing will be a surprise when you're actually in the area doing whatever you're doing, fighting a villain, helping a citizen, or whatever. That's one of the options. The other one is getting to the scene faster than anyone else and minimizing casualties. Like, I can imagine All Might giving the same kind of speech that Endeavor's giving them. Well, I mean, he was the number 2 hero for so long that he had no choice but to have that kind of knowledge. He says with the experience that they gain here, they'll be able to accomplish their goals in no time, and that their objective is to subjugate or capture a villain faster than him, which in my opinion shouldn't really take that long because they were like inches close away from stopping those villains 2 chapters ago before Hawks had stopped him. But Endeavor speed might be something else though. We saw how he left them niggas in the dust, so it might be a little bit of a challenge.
Watch my back and watch my dust from over there, T. Watch my dust. Watch my dust. I say watch the dust.
Not to mention that Deku will probably be the first one to do it because we saw how fast he was in the movie. And that movie is like, it's canon but not canon. Like, I consider it to be, I won't consider it canon until they mention it or something like that. Like, because the movie takes place after season 2 and before season 3. Well, the summer of season 2, I guess you can say. It takes place there. And I want it to be canon. I really do. Like, in my heart and my soul, it's canon. But I can't ignore the facts until it's like brought up in the manga. I know they had that manga chapter, but until it's like brought up, I'm not really gonna consider it canon until it's actually canon. But like, we saw how fast he was in the movie and how he shitted all over Ida's speed. But he's been doing that. He's been doing that in the anime and the manga, so that's not really nothing to brag about. Thank you for watching the video, and if you liked what you saw, Detroit, smash that like button, comment, share, subscribe, and remember, go beyond plus ultra.